I think it was like last month or the month before that, I actually did a Bulletstorm preview where I talked about how I thought Bulletstorm was, after having played a little bit of it, I thought Bulletstorm was going to get pretty boring after about an hour or two, kind of repetitive, and I just thought it was lacking something special. And I gotta say, boy, I was completely off the mark. Where Bulletstorm lacks in creative dialogue and story and voice acting, the game actually offers a lot of very fun and addictive gameplay. I say it lacks in dialogue because although, I mean, if you've seen any of my live chats, you know I have quite a dirty mouth. And in fact, a lot of my friends call me Swear Bear because I do kind of cuss like a sailor. So I have no problem with cuss words at all. I love them, in fact. They make a point. But in Bulletstorm, at first, it was a little over the top. No, throughout the whole game, it was a little over the top. But at first, it was just kind of like, it felt like it was written like from a 12-year-old's point of view, where they tried to put cuss words in where they didn't belong, and they just tried to almost force-feed me what they thought was creative cussing. And I thought it was just kind of like, really? Did we really need that word there? Or how in the hell did you make up that silly name? That's ridiculous. Come on. But the more I played the game, the more it just kind of grew on me, you know? It just, the one-liners and the name-calling started to get kind of funny. My favorite line was, I think he said, this is a dildo of a plan. That's awesome. Of course, Dick Tits was funny. Anytime Grayson, who's the lead character, Gray, would talk about wanting to murder, that was always fun. Like, it's murdering time. I don't know. I just thought it was really fun, and I started to enjoy the dialogue a little bit more. But that being said, the actual dialogue between characters, or any dialogue that had anything to do with the story, was pretty cliche and just silly. Where, you know, any kind of dialogue between the characters, especially any of the story dialogue, I'd just be sitting there going, really? That's the best you could have done? Like, someone wasn't trying to be creative with it. Overall, the graphics were pretty good. I say pretty good because, of course, I've seen better, and I burnt my thumb. That's what this is. Anyways, you know, I've seen better graphics from, of course, like Gears of War, but I did enjoy Bulletstorm's environments better. Because in Gears of War, everything is in ruins, and it's all grays and blacks and whites. You don't see a lot of color, and although the art style of Bulletstorm, which is more of like a kind of almost painting/cartoony look to it, I still really enjoyed the vibrant colors. It just made the environments pop more, if that makes any sense. So I guess overall, for graphics, I'd say Gears of War better, but as far as environment style, I'd go with Bulletstorm. And I'm going to be comparing Bulletstorm a lot to Gears of War, because of course, you know, they're both games from Epic, and because they're a lot alike. The main character reminds me a lot of Marcus, just not as sarcastic as Marcus is. You know, Marcus is the lead character in Bulletstorm. I mean Gears of War, and the play style and the controls are pretty much identical. It's just Bulletstorm has, of course, the skill points and the creative kills and the very creative weapons more so than Gears of War. I'm not going to say which I like better because they are different enough that I think they can both be games on their own, but they are very similar, so I'm going to probably be comparing them a lot. I loved the variety of weapons. The game opened up the weapons and each weapon's special, what was called a charge, but very sporadically, so you never really felt like you weren't getting anything new or you weren't working towards any kind of new upgrade or anything. I never got really super comfortable with one weapon, to where in some games when I get a lot of weapons, I'll get so comfortable with one weapon I don't really desire to try any of the other ones. But they really broke it up enough to keep the variety fresh and to keep me from getting too comfortable with one weapon to where I didn't want to try the others. My go-to weapons were always the shotgun, which I think was called the Bone Duster, and the grenade launcher, which was called the flail gun. Those were definitely my two favorite weapons. Of course, I did like the drill weapon, which I can't remember the name of right now, and the little revolver was a lot of fun too before I got my shotgun. My favorite upgrade to a weapon was definitely the shotgun's upgrade. It was just great for mass destruction. You know, I'd charge my shotgun up and I'd shoot like this group of enemies and they'd all just have the skin burn off of them, and what would be left was like this this smoldering corpse or smoldering skeleton, and that was awesome. Of course, the flail gun special was also really cool. It was like a supercharged chain with their grenades on them, which would slice through enemies. I loved the drill. The drill weapon more than its upgrade. The upgrade was pretty cool, but I liked being able to like shish kebab enemies, right? Shoot one and go through the other and then pin them to the wall. Kind of like the, I can't remember the name of it, but the gun in BioShock where maybe it was bolts, I think, and you'd shoot a bolt and they'd go flying up and pin them to the wall. That's always awesome. And killing enemies never gets old, especially in Bulletstorm, because there are so many different ways to killing enemies, and even if you've done that special kill before, the game still made you feel pretty accomplished when you would do it again. It's kind of like yeah, I just killed that enemy really creatively. The game also keeps track of your favorite types of kills and different specials, and each special way of killing somebody ranks different, so you get different points for different types, and you can go into the screen and see which of the ones you've already done for specific weapons and which ones you haven't even unlocked yet, and so forth. So that definitely kept things fresh. I never really did what I thought I was going to do, which is, start doing the creative kills and then just start running in and just killing everybody normally. The game definitely inspired me to keep being as creative as possible with my kills because I wanted those skill points. Because, the achievement whore in me needed those skill points because I hated seeing a menu where I hadn't finished, a row of things off. So it definitely made me want to keep trying. I talked a little bit about the environments and everything, and I also want to mention one of my favorite levels was, I'm going to call it the Godzilla area, where you'd walk into this room. It was almost like a fun house, and you walked in, and there were miniatures of a huge city. And you walked through this huge city, or this miniature city, so you felt huge, and you were as tall as skyscrapers, and there were little cars going around on the street, and that was probably one of the most creative levels I've seen in a video game in a long time. And that led to one of my other favorite parts of the game was the dinosaur robot mech. That thing was awesome. I loved controlling him, and probably one of my favorite parts of that game as well was, spoiler alert, really quick guys, was when the dinosaur mech, died, and, Gray just really kind of fell apart, and said what he named it. I don't even remember what he named it, but some kind of, tallywhacker, something liquor, or something like that. It was really funny, and he got all choked up, and, I don't know, I just really liked that part, and I loved controlling the big, giant dinosaur robot mech. That made my day. As I talked before, some of the dialogue and the story was definitely cliche. The ending was probably the most cliche part about it, though. I mean, I've never seen a game more obviously leave something open for the sequel, ever. They just knew we were going to buy this game and just put it out there and was like, yes, there will be a sequel. And I kind of felt a little ripped off because here I played this game and, $60 for a thing that just, nothing got resolved. $60 and the story didn't end in any way, shape, or form. I don't know, if you're a big story person, you're going to be disappointed because nothing's resolved. But since I'm not a huge story person, I still had a great time, and I will definitely play the sequel. Definitely. Overall, I want to tell you I fully recommend Bulletstorm, and I do, but just not right now. Bulletstorm is just dripping with game-ending glitches, glitches and bugs that will force you to restart the game, and that just shows evidence of an unfinished product. I reached this glitch where my NPC teammates just disappeared. I could always, every time I restarted the chapter, I knew where it was going to happen. I could sit there and watch them just, poof, disappear. I was like, alright, fine, I'll just continue on. Maybe after a cutscene they'll reappear, whatever. I continued on, and I got to the cutscene I thought they were going to reappear at, and they didn't. And what happened was, the cutscene I was waiting for had to be triggered by one of the NPCs. And since the NPC wasn't there to trigger the cutscene, just all of a sudden, Gray would just fall through the level. My character would fall through the level into oblivion. I restarted, I think, 4 or 5 times before finally going on the official board, official forums, to see if there was any kind of resolution. And I was shocked to see how many, like, official bugs there are in this game where people are not able to complete the game. They're not able to progress. And did this game really go through any Q&A? Because one or two, okay. But when you go to the official forums and you just see glitch after glitch after glitch after glitch, that's not really being addressed at all. The one I was having, the forum members were addressing how to fix it. I didn't see any developer in there, helping people. And the only answers we were getting were restart. There was nothing else that we could do. And that just shows, of course, a rushed game, poor development, and poor customer service. So from when I was looking on the forums, it might have been updated by now. There was no resolution to any of these glitches other than restarting or clearing your cache on your Xbox 360. I played it on 360. I don't know about the PS3 users. And also, they had not mentioned anything about releasing patches to fix the glitches. So, as of right now, playing Bulletstorm is like playing Russian roulette. You really don't quite know if you're going to hit a bug, when you're going to hit it, and if it's going to be one of the game-ending ones. So, I would recommend waiting and getting it when there is a patch out, if there will be a patch. But if you're cool with going ahead and giving it a try anyways, and okay with restarting if you do hit one of those bugs or glitches, then go ahead and get it. It's a great game. It's super just, lighthearted, cheesy, gory, graphic, I already said lighthearted, mindless fun. It's just so much fun, super addicting. I haven't tried any of the multiplayer or the Echo levels yet. As far as I know, Echo is almost like a speed run where you're trying to rack up more points than any of your online friends. So I haven't tried that stuff. Not a big multiplayer fan. So, yeah, I'm just reviewing the campaign mode, which I loved. I didn't see why this game couldn't be co-op, though. Probably just because they didn't want to spend the extra time developing it. But, yeah, that's my review. And, for a little fun, how about if the guys that have played it already, put down in the comments your favorite one-liner from the game. And I'd love to read what your favorite parts were. Thanks for watching, guys. And, as always, I love you.